we've got to focus on this Mirage, which I think Godsent are pretty good on, but Space Soldiers probably still favorites, Dinko.
Yeah, Space Soldiers are definitely the favorites coming into this one. They'll have a lot of, they have a lot more sort of experience under the belt as well, you know, playing at that major stage. Whereas Godsent, there's a lot of sort of unknown entities in there. I mean, Disco Doppelin, of course, was on that Fnatic team back in the major as well, but not the most recent one. It has been quite a underwhelming sort of time for Godsent, hasn't it, really? I mean, there was a lot of these stars from Epsilon coming out, and everybody thought they would be the new face of Sweden, but it's kind of just fallen apart a little bit on Godsent's end.
Yeah, they have got a couple of the newer up-and-coming players now back on their lineup, though. Brolan and Hampus, the recent additions coming into the mix. And as well, just to confirm, guys, it is not Alu standing in. Brolan is here to play today. So it's Godsent's full lineup, which is always what you want to see. You want to see the 5v5 full lineups from both teams, because that series at WESG was pretty close, actually. Godsent only lost Mirage 16-14, so maybe they could have learned from that and just, you know, a few things changed, could have gone their way. So this first map could be very close for sure.
Yeah, this first map is actually quite an interesting one, Mirage. Space Soldiers have a very, very aggressive T side on this map, so that's something I'd be really looking forward to seeing, is how they really adapt to this on the Godsent side, because when you've got Zenteras, you've got players like Calyx who are just walking out and destroying people. You really got to be able to sort of find a way to really deal with that. And if they start to lose a lot of the sites quickly to the fast pace of the Turkey side, it's going to be difficult to sort of recuperate yourself and try and set up for a different approach to the game. And it's going to be interesting to see how they actually play this A site most of all, because that's the site Space Soldiers are very, very good at sort of taking aggressively and really finding those opening kills. So it's interesting to see if Godsent will play it on retake or perhaps go for a bit of aggression on their CT side themselves.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a little bit of time before the game starts, so we can also recap the results of both of these teams so far here in Group C. Space Soldiers already took their first win up against Noreg. They managed to win that one 2-0 with a win on Nuke. And then Godsent managed to beat Valiant 2-0. So both these teams with strong starts in this group. And now it's really a battle of the best here in this winners match, as we are ready to kick things off with the first pistol.
And get into the pistol round. This is where things really start off for both sides. You want to get that really good start. It's quite the cliche to say pistol rounds are important. And of course, Space Soldiers starting on that T side will invest in two flashbangs and one smoke, should I say. And they've got util across the board as well. But they've got that armor on the T side. That should be able to help them out when it comes to attacking the sites. And looks as though they've got a really spread out play here. Two inside of the palace. Way over towards that B side of the map. And Godsent now know that mid control has been given up to them. They can go up for an aggressive peek, and then pressure is put onto that B bomb site. That's going to force a couple of players off to take fights in this B site, but it's all a ruse. The bomb's going out onto the A site.
Yeah, Hampus gets one on the hole, but Xantar is leading the charge, gets the entry onto A, so that is the bomb going down without anything for Godsent to do. Rotation comes back in, but Calyx has the backstab, gets the double, and that's a huge play from him to completely cut off that rotation. It's only Hampus left alive, and the fake has worked wonderfully well for Space Soldiers. Hampus does have the kit, but he's got 3 players to find, and he's got to try and quickly get over towards A if he wants any chance here.
Yeah, that was a really nice fake. Just walking into the apartments. And forcing the 2 players in Palace to try and come out with the bomb. That was actually a really excellent fake. It completely juked Godsent right there. This is the only player finding anything, and he'll go down as well. Zenteras finds him. 1-0 for Space Soldiers. They take the pistol, and that's just really showing how confident this side are to commit 3 players towards that B bomb site, take those fights, leave mid completely open, and then just put 2 players out onto that A site. It's a bit of a gamble, but it works out for them. And Space Soldiers, you can see, reap the rewards. The only player finding anything into that round was Hampus for Godsent. So a good start for the Turkish side. They'll be wanting to grind out the cash now. You can see a heavy SMG presence. 2 MAC-10s, 2 UMPs, 1 AK to be that sort of insurance policy. And I've got a tiny bit of utility here as well, Hawkwood.
Yeah, we're also going to see Godsent with a couple of players saving some money. You can see Hampus, Disco Doppelin, and Brolan, as well as actually Twist, they're all saving a fair bit of cash, not really going for the full Kevlar buy with these upgraded pistols. At the same time, though, Space Soldiers don't have the best of buys, only the 1 rifle picked up by Xantares. So we'll get to see exactly how they decide to play with mostly SMGs. Already the push coming in. Xantara is leading the charge in towards ladder room. That's a massive risk. If he were to lose that AK, they would be in trouble. He's already making his way forwards, but yeah, Disco Dotlan is dead to rights. Easy backstab. Xantara's not quite going to get the chance for the second, though. Brolan plays safe, so just a 1-for-1 so far.
For one, trade's coming in, and Paz will walk up towards the top of the connector, finds himself one with that UMP. Calyx finds another, but Freddy B and Twist, they're finding kills with the pistols. Xantara should be the clean up here, though, and you will find both. 3 kills for him into the round and 2 rounds for Space Soldiers, but it was made expensive, 3 players going down for the Turkish side, and Godsent will be pretty happy what they picked up with the minimal investment, really.
And Godsent, because of that, will get a couple of nades into this round. No Kevlar, though, and just the 1 upgraded pistol. So we'll see the nades go in towards top mid. Oh, they're actually going to connect. Brolan gets that first kill there with just the USP. The push keeps on going. Major's going to have to hold that one off. In the meantime, though, Bomb pushing in towards A. It looks as though that A site has been claimed, but Major, very low on health, needed that kill, and that ensures that for the time being, Godsent won't recover any guns.
Yeah, already Space Soldiers, they're taking this advantage at the start to get their momentum and their confidence starting to build up. And again, just aggressive plays, really quick, taking all the kills. Catches Godsent off, but of course Freddy B now has an AK. Let's see if he can try and save that over. It'll be difficult since there's a player right in front of him. He looks to be trying to just wrap around and get the kill here, but Xantara finds one. Freddy B able to grab Major as well, so now there's a huge chance for him to save that AK. There's barely any time to really find him, and he's already making his way back towards the B side of things. At the top of underpass, so that's a pretty good sort of outcome for him, all things considering, able to just slip away with an AK into the next round after investing nothing into the round. Comes out with a kill as well, so 3 kills for Godsent, but 3 rounds for Space Soldiers, and this is where the going gets a little bit rougher for the Turkish side. The buy will come through for Godsent. They will have the double ops already out. This is an interesting play here. You never really see that double up being pulled out so early on here, especially on Mirage. It's not a map where you really would see that too often, and especially not coming into the first gun round.
Yeah, I think the double ops are sometimes seen in the later rounds, but as you were saying, to see them already into this first gun round is fairly uncommon. And we're going to get to see what Twist and Disco can do between them. Disco Dotlan currently in towards short. In the meantime, Major's got aggressive into apps here. There's Disco, though, spotting him out. So that AWP does get the initial entry. And Space Soldiers now, with that mid presence, they might just look to go towards A instead, because they've spotted out that AWP over towards B. And Xantara's is also in connector.
And they've got 1 CT player left over on the A site and under the wood. Xantara's has slipped his way up to the top. He finds himself a headshot, but goes down quite quickly to Twist, almost instantaneously, in fact. A man advantage still for Godsent. They want to be trying to keep that intact, and the T side trying to get their way out. It is going to be Twist blinded an engine, landing that headshot very, very easily. And now Calyx up on top of the stairs, making his way down towards the connector. And there's 2 players coming in. 1 from the jungle, 1 from the connector. Engine finds Disco Doppler elsewhere, so this has to be a 2 versus 3 retake. And Calyx has found another headshot. The second comes in from Paz. 4 rounds in a row, and the first gun round goes in favor of Space Soldiers.
And Godsent again going to be forced back down to a weak buy. We'll get to see how this goes into round number 5. They're just going to go for a few upgraded pistols. And it will be, by the looks of things, yeah, just a few CZs on the board. So while we have a quick moment, quickly want to mention the giveaway we currently have running here on eFrag. If you subscribe to the channel on Twitch, you will be entered within a chance to win some Shadow Daggers case hardened field tested. So if you want to enter that giveaway, subscribe on Twitch. Other than that, back into the action where Twist is going to get taken down. So the pistol's not doing too much so far.
No, not doing enough damage. 2 kills come in. Paz and Xantara is able to find them. It is going to be Hampus, Freddy B and Brolan. Freddy B does have himself the Kevlar to work with. The other 2 do not, so should be a little bit easier for him perhaps to find something. The Paz is walking up towards short, and the opposite end of that wall is a player looking very hungry for a kill that CZ, but Hampus decides to fall back towards B. Rolling in under the underpass position, jumping up and down. That should have been heard out by Paz, so they should know there's a player in there. Just over 50 seconds left. Space Soldiers not want to make any mistakes, even though they've got a 2-man advantage. They just want to try and wait out some aggression from the CT side. They will spot one out towards the window. Hampus will fall back towards the B-bomb site, but here comes the push Hawker right onto that B site from short.
Ooh, Brolan actually catches him off guard from underpass. There goes another kill. Hampus doubles down. All of a sudden, Godsent are getting all the kills between them. Xantares needs to save this round now, and with 25 seconds left, he has to speed this up. Hampus still holding on the site, but Brolan comes in for the backstab, and that came out of nowhere, Dinko. Godsent get all the kills between them, and it is going to be their first round on the board.
That is absolutely incredible. How does that even happen? It's a two-man advantage for Space Soldiers. They group up onto the short position and they just cavalry charge in and get shut down. Godsent will be very happy about stealing that one away, and that does get them back in this game now. Space Soldiers were on the verge of getting themselves a very indomitable start in 5 rounds. Would have been very difficult to sort of get back for Godsent, but now they have got the aggression from Freddy B, opening up 2 kills. Twist with a third over towards the A-bomb site. Space Soldiers have just been annihilated here, and the Swedish seem to be here and ready to play. They've finally woken up. Engine able to pull one back, but it's still a 2-man advantage for Godsent.
Ooh. Wow, Engine is going to go ahead and get 1 kill in reply. That opens up B a little bit, but you can see Major still sitting back towards T-spawn. Surprisingly, though, Godsent aren't committing over towards B, maybe because Freddy has pushed through mid. He might be in position for a free frag here. If Engine doesn't check this corner, he will go down. And Major also only has a P250, so it's going to be a little bit tough. But Freddy B has fallen back, so it looks as though Space Soldiers will be able to make their way towards mid just at the right time. With 45 seconds left, they still have to decide which site they want to move towards.
There's still a chance they can do this, thanks to Engine finding those 2 kills. Freddy B, however, that aggression was just so confident from him, just walking up, but look at that position from Disco Doppelin. He finds the bomb and Major. Now leaves Engine in a very precarious position, a 1 versus 3 with 22 seconds left in the clock. Bomb not in his possession. I don't think there's any chance of doing this, so you might as well just try and save that AK. He's done enough damage to really at least get something out of the round, but no chance of doing much more, so he'll save that AK into the next round. And Space Soldiers now, a bit of a weakness. Godsent have been able to pick up a consecutive round, and that's exactly what I like to see. When you're on the verge of being economically reset, or there's a risk of being economically reset, when you're in that sort of position, to show some aggression, just walking up middle and taking those 2 kills for yourself is a very good start and a very good sign of confidence moving forward, because you've got that advantage into the round, and you're just showing that even on a round that means so much, you're able to just make a play like that.
Engine. Oh, okay. Taps off the head. Trade comes in from Freddy B. And Godsent going to get a couple of kills back. Oh, Brolan with the double spray down. Beautifully done there to get both of those kills through. And it is going to be the Swedes to get their 3rd round on the board. And as you were saying, they're starting to look a lot more confident after a somewhat slow start. So fair play to Godsent. They're starting to show up, and it seems like those double AWPs have been a part of that. But now we're going to see that second AWP in the hands of Hampus rather than Disco Doppelin.
Double AWP set up again from Godsent, as you said, and the Doppelin this time going to walk out and find themselves a kill on the Major. An advantage gain for Godsent. They'll be very happy with that indeed, and it just seems to be that mid-aggression seems to be working out for them so many times, but Xantares, a little bit of luck shows through. Headshot through the smoke. Freddy B falls. Paz will open up towards middle as well as he finds Twist walking up short, and that will be the man advantage pulled back in favour of the Turkish now, as they will have that 4-player count. And there goes Calix walking out under the A site, finds Disco Doppelin, looks up towards the top of the stairs and gets Brolin. Now leaving only Hampus. He's able to find Paz, but has a hefty amounts of Turkish players to find here if he wants to win this round for his side. And with just over a minute left, Space Soldiers in possession of the bomb, and it's swiftly making its way over to the A site. I don't see any chance of winning this one at all for Godsent Holka.
No, and that was really cool from Xantares, because I'm pretty sure he lined up that pre-fire back from Palace and then walked out with his crosshair in the same position to have his crosshair in the perfect spot to pre-fire that corner, and he got the instant headshot because of it. Really cool to see that actually come into play, and that helped open up the A site tremendously, because the rest of Space Soldiers then had a lot more room to work with. So it is going to be their 5th round on the board. And Godsent, well, their money's going to be a little bit up in the air. I think they will still have enough for pretty much a full buy, as long as Hampus saves this AWP. they should be in good shape. And Space Soldiers also have to worry about their money, so they're probably just going to want to save these rifles as well for the most part, because they don't have any cash in the bank. So both teams pretty willing to just hold on to both of their guns. And a little bit of a shot towards his teammate there, but not an issue. Heading into round 9, Godsent do get to save the AWP, and they will have a goodbye.
You know, they'll have themselves the double up setup's been working out a little bit for Godsent, but not as much as we probably would have liked to see it. What I like about that double up setup is that one player can play extremely aggressive and try and find that opening kill, and then the other can play a little bit more passively, try and hold down a large area of the map and just make that shut down for the opponents. But Teams just though Godsent really haven't been testing the waters with their ops and just both playing passive, which really really takes away from the investment. But straight up middle, Space Soldiers again, that sheer aggression has left 2 players in mid with control of it. West, however, is playing back from that ticket box area. Has a very strong position with that AWP if any player were to walk inside of that connector. But Space Soldiers right now are just waiting for those 2 players to get inside a connector. And then you can work together with the 2 players inside of ramp and have that one player who's a little bit further back in middle to play that late game flank.
Yeah, it looks as though that will be coming through shortly. As you were saying, there is one player still back towards mid, but it's the A push to come in. And Freddy B all ready to get the first on the hold, and Brolan walking through the smoke is going to get the trade. It's actually Freddy to steal it away, and Freddy gets 3 kills from under Palace, stepping up, as does Twist. And those 2 players on the A site between them get all 5 kills. How did Freddy B get 3 frags there, though? I thought he was mollied out of position, but he stood in the flames and managed to get that triple kill. And now it's Space Soldiers who have a decision to make because their money isn't all that good.
Yeah, that's exactly what Godsent wanted, to make Space Soldiers' economy to sort of dwindle a little bit, and that now forces them into a situation where they have to call what they want to do. And it's quite good to see they've pulled out a full, well, pretty much a full eco. Calyx is the only player investing in any Kevlar, so have enough cash to work with into that next round. And Hampus, he's going to hit 1 shot, and he would have followed up, but luckily for Xantares, he gets out of the apartments quick enough, back to the cover of the walls. Now 1 round separates the Swedes from the Turks. Likely to go in favour of the Swedes in this round because right now they've got everything going for them. Map control was trying to begin towards B there from Space Soldiers, but it got denied from the early kill for the early shot coming through, shall I say, onto Xantares. That halts them in position. And now Space Soldiers in a very awkward position right now, because you can see their idea was to go towards B and try and find something at least with the pistols, but when that gets halted, what can you really do? You're stuck in a very, very awkward position, and luckily for Calyx, he's found a little bit of space towards A that he's going to call his teammates over to try and take this site.
Freddy B needs to step up, but he will not be able to do so. Calyx gets the opening with that dig. Now Brolan has to try and reply, and he does get 1 kill. There's the second as well, so Brolan steps it up, but the bomb will go down, and Calyx has the rifle to work with. He gets a 2nd frag on the round, so it's quickly back into a 3v3, and the AWPs could be slightly awkward here on the retake if they are forced to take some closer range fights. They know roughly where Calyx is, though, but Calyx gets great timing. Space Soldiers are making this happen. Twist has to run away, and Calyx makes all the difference as he even gets the final 4th kill. And gotta give credit to Calyx. He was over towards A, he led the charge, and now it's Godsent with awful money.
This is now absolutely insane. How many rounds have we seen already, Hawker, where the team that should have been the favourite into the round has come out looking worse for wear? I mean, we had that round where Godsent were in a 3 versus 5. They had only CZs to work with, and Space Soldiers crumbled towards B. And then at that round, Godsent, they had everything going for them, and Space Soldiers somehow were able to reap the goods. It's a little bit confusing because neither team's economy will be able to really flourish if it stays like this, especially Godsent, considering the CT side economy is so difficult to really keep going. So, I mean, when you got that sort of scoreline already, Space Soldiers are in the driving seat right now, I'm going to say. They have sort of that momentum. They're on that T side. Things are a little bit easier to work with in their cash. And of course, leading by 2 rounds here, and the momentum in their favour, this is starting to look a little bit better for their half, at least, here for Space Soldiers.
And it looks like we have a lot of Space Soldiers fans in the chat. So if you guys want to try and help the Space Soldiers players win some prizes, then you can go ahead and vote over at gg.bet. There are 3 categories: MVP, Pistol King, and AWP King. And the winner of each of them gets $2,000. So You know, might want to give a nod to Calix for that play. Maybe he's worthy of MVP. Maybe Xantares is going to step up. You can vote for whoever you want, or even one of the Godsent players. So make sure to vote if you want to check that out. And other than that, already Space Soldiers looking good in this round. They've overwhelmed A, as you would expect. Godsent had a pretty poor buy, but they basically invested everything here, and they haven't got anything from it.
Quite incredible. I think Godsent have been winning rounds off the back of CZs and still not find anything into this round at all. Space Soldiers have won this one cleanly, and that's exactly what they want. But as soon as I say that, Disco Doppelin cracks the head off Engine. There's some more action, but Alex will check the angle on Hampus, taking them down as well. And it just shows how safe Space Soldiers are playing it. They were willing to double peek that one corner, not to lose a rifle. And that also pays dividends to the fact that their economy isn't so strong. I mean, yes, they have a lot to work with now, but if they were to lose even a couple of AKs, who knows when Godsent are able to answer back and bite off an armor leg and get back into the economy game. So Space Soldiers playing that one safely. We'll have a lot of cash to work with now. But over on the Godsent side, it's quite the opposite. In fact, they're going to have to eco yet again here. And Space Soldiers should be able to take that 8th round and get themselves at least a 1-round advantage going into that second half already, Hawker.
Yeah, it looks as though Space Soldiers will almost certainly get their 8th round on the board. You can see just a slow start to this round, not too much going on. The Space Soldiers pretty willing to hold back, as you would expect. They're mainly focused on just not running into a stack here, because Godsent have such little investment that certainly could have been coming through. You can see a fair few of the Swedes leaning towards A, but not a full-on stack, because Hampus is over towards B. Yeah, not too much going on here. Finally, it looks like the mid presence will be gained by Space Soldiers. One flash should be good to allow that to occur, although Disco Doppelin is in connector, so maybe he'll try and see if he can get at least a headshot through with his Eeg. He's currently stuck in that corner.
That would be the best outcome, most likely, for Godsent. He was able to find some damage at least, but there goes Paz. Disco Doppelin messes it up a little bit, goes down. Brolin now steps up with a USP of all weapons to be able to take down Paz. Xantares edging his way out from the palace position. Freddy B's body collapse along with Twists follows up is Calix, and now only Hampus, 1 versus 4. USP in hand. Not a chance in hell for him winning this round, and it will be 8-4. A pause will come through from Twists for the Godsent side, and this is most likely going to be a tactical pause at this point. Godsent have just kind of lost all their momentum, all their mojo, and Space Soldiers, they've been able to really take control of this now.
Yeah, that should have been a free kill for Disco every time, but Paz just whips back around, manages to take his head off. And I think that's why the pause is probably justified at this point, because Godsent, they're heading into a gun round, and they just need to make sure they have as clear a mindset as possible here. They've got the AWP for Twist. Disco Doppelin could follow suit, although I don't think he'd be able to get Kevlar alongside that AWP. It's pretty close, but yeah, it would be a risk. And you can already see Twist has already had to buy one AWP without Kevlar, so not exactly going to be a perfect buy for Godsent, but they're working with what they can, and there we go. Disco Doppelin does not get Kevlar. He goes for that second AWP. So this is a bit of a risk to get 2 glass cannon AWPs on the Godsent side, but they're hoping those AWPs can make the difference for them.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It hasn't really reaped any fruits from the trees just yet. I mean, we haven't seen them really being able to open up rounds with that double up setup, so it's interesting they keep going for it. And perhaps it has worked out in previous games for them, so they feel like this is something that could work out here, and they just haven't been able to have the opportunity yet. And of course, that is a factor, so at least they keep going for it. Obviously, there's a reason why they keep doing it. So let's see if they can actually pull it off in this round. This time, Twist's going to be going up short. Going to try and find that opening kill. Perhaps there's quite a lot of presence towards this side of the map early on from the Godsent side. 3 players walking their way up to the B side of things, but then separate off into their different positions. Hampus taking a bit of a jaw through the smoke towards Apps. Does take Engine down to around 32 HP, so he backs off. Doesn't want to stick around too much longer in case he does go down in the end. And now Space Soldiers, not much map control gain. This time they're playing things a little bit slower. I talked about that sort of aggressive play at the start, Hawker, where they like to go into sight pretty aggressively, but this looks to be a little bit of a different approach from Space Soldiers. Very slow defaults, just trying to gain some info, perhaps.
Yeah, certainly. With a minute left on the clock, we haven't really seen any fights so far. The one real piece of damage we've seen was from Hampus over towards Engine at B Apartments, and he didn't even see him. That was just a lucky spam through the smoke. So it's certainly a slow round coming in from Space Soldiers. However, they do have that mid control again, so they can try and split towards a bomb site, and they might try and end up over towards A. Right now, there are a fair few players here, one of them being Brolan, who's had to go aggressive to get through that smoke. And it looks as though with 28 seconds left, Space Soldiers are going to have to go to the A site here, and they have to deal with Disco Dotland. He's got the AWP at CT, so how do they take him down? Well, there we go. Calyx wins the fight with the AK. Push comes in, flank comes out from Freddy to bring it back to a 3v3, and Hampus does get another kill through. So now the bomb is going to struggle to get planted. They don't have a smoke for CT. 6 seconds left, they need this kill, but he goes down, and that means Hampus can easily deny the bomb plant and win the round for Godsent.
Yeah, Godsent will be very happy with that one. They really needed that round. That was probably the most important round in a while for Godsent. Otherwise, Space Soldiers were just starting to run away with that half. They would have been on the verge of getting a very dominant scoreline moving into the second one. So Godsent being able to find that fifth round at least confirms them 10-5. Of course, they'll be wanting to push it a little bit further, maybe up to 7 would be their goal. And Space Soldiers, they're going to try and put a stop to that with the AKs and the ops that they now have. This is probably the most competitive round on paper we've seen. Both teams having the rifles, and there goes Antares. That's an opening kill for Space Soldiers. At least a flashbang keeps Paz alive as well, as Brolin was so close to getting that, and instead Engine will find him, but Freddy B with 2. The nade and the AK and Hampus and Twist. This is a huge play from Godsent. Just a flurry of kills and Space Soldiers in this round, and it all falls onto Calyx. He has to salvage them back.
Twist jumps across there. The molly could now come in. There it goes. And that's one free kill for Calyx. So he brings it back to a 1v2, but there we go. Freddy B pushes in for the flank. I was going to say, Calyx has been pretty good so far, so they might be a little bit worried. However, it is going to be Godsent able to close out the round win. And now heading into the last round of the half, we won't quite get to see an AWP for Space Soldiers, and only the one AWP for Godsent. So it's a bit sort of back to basics in terms of both teams mainly going for rifles. But we are going to see Godsent put a couple of players towards mid and go for this aggression. In the meantime, Brolan also pushing through in towards Palace. So a lot of CT aggression early on here. They are pushed in towards top mid, and Brolan does get that kill at Palace.
Pretty insane, isn't he? An advantage given. Twist will find one back as he finds Engine. And Godsent, this is looking good for them. This should be their 7th round, but Space Soldiers, they still have 3 players left. Make that 2. Twists clotheslines Calyx. And now Paz and Major. That's 2 players alive. 4 Space Soldiers to try and take down the Godsent side here. And Hampus will find Major, trying to get his way out towards B. And now the last player is there as well. Paz not being very quiet about it. He'll get shut down from Freddy B, and that will be 8-7. Godsent crawled their way back in here on Hawkeye. This is shaping up to be the close game we expected.
Yeah, it certainly is, but we'll have to see if it is going to continue to be close after this quick break.
Place your bets at GG.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at GG.bet.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to GG Origin, where we are here for the first map between Space Soldiers and Godsent. And, well, Dinko, it's looking pretty even so far, as we were saying. So, do you think either side has much of an edge at this point, or do you think it's mainly up to that second half performance?
I think it'll come down to that second half performance. I feel like Space Soldiers, if we had to give the bone to some team here at this point, it would definitely be Space Soldiers, in my opinion. They are the favorite team coming into this one, but it comes up to sort of Paz and Major stepping up for me on that side of Space Soldiers. They were a little bit quiet there on their T side, so if they can start to have a better performance coming over into the CT side, we could see Space Soldiers begin to take this one. Of course, they're going into it with the round advantage. I feel as though some of the weaknesses from Space Soldiers was they weren't playing their sort of usual style where they go out aggressively. They were playing a lot slower and sort of becoming disjointed, and when players went down there was no trades there, and when the issues occurred when you're in a 2 versus 4 or 2 versus 5, there was really no way of Space Soldiers coming back into that round. You can see they tried to slip out towards B, but they got caught out by the good plays of Godsent. So yeah, they need to really sort of wake up a little bit more on that front. And hopefully Paz and, of course, Major can step up, and perhaps Space Soldiers will be able to take this one. But Godsent, they are going to be trying to put their foot in that one. And then we'll invest into this pistol round with quite a bit of utility, actually.
And they have a molly going in towards window. That will allow the mid control to be gained quite easily. And Paz will be the first line of defense. Up close with the USP, they don't check him. Paz gets 2 kills alongside one from Major. It's a complete shutout towards short as Freddy B finally gets 1 back. Ooh, there's actually a second for Freddy B, so maybe this round isn't over yet. Hampus, pushes through. The P250 brings it back to a 1v2 at least. He's still got a bit more to find, though, as he needs to hunt down Paz. And you can already see Space Soldiers playing it safe. However, they're playing it very passively, so maybe Hampus can get this bomb as the flash goes in. Yes, he can. Now there's a chance for the plant, but he's not going for it. He's waiting to try and get the kill, and that he will. It's back to a 1v1 now, and Hampus still not going towards the site. He's waiting to play for the frag. With 53 seconds left here, Hampus can really control this 1v1. The Engine now is going to make his way forwards. He should hear the plant coming in. Hampus still on the site, will reposition. Engine spots him out, doesn't connect, and now Hampus knows where he is. Hampus looking to win this 1v1, peeking out. This is so close. Push coming in from Engine. He gets up close and does get the shot through. Such a tense 1v1, but Space Soldiers just about hold on there.
Yeah, Space Soldiers, they get that pistol round. They desperately need to sort of continue this lead that they've got, and they want to be able to convert it. This is where things get a bit risky. Of course, Godsent were able to pick up that bomb plant, so they're going to invest into this one themselves. AK is being bought up, and this makes this extremely interesting now because Space Soldiers, well, they expect this. They've got themselves a heavy SMG presence in the mix, but they've got 2 rifles there, so they could be able to pick up this round, but it's going to be still a bit of a challenge because Godsent right now have all of the Deagles, 3 of them in fact, and 2 AK-47s, and their weapons you can't really underestimate. Space Soldiers may be in for a little bit of a surprise here.
Well, yeah. Let's see what those AKs decide to go, because you can see they've both pushed through underpass, so the boost might be coming in, and if that does come out, Paz could be in trouble. Looks like he's fallen back, but oh, there we go. Disco Dopland survives on 1 HP. Engine, though, from short should get the trade back. Looking for a little bit more, does find the second. So Space Soldiers still win those trades. That nade gonna do damage as well. Brolan down to 50 HP. So it looks as though Space Soldiers are on top for now.
Yeah, Engine is really that player that solidifies that for them. But now the AK still survive for Godsent, so that's definitely not out of it just yet. Disco Doppelin down to 1 HP, so he's virtually out of the round right now. The Space Soldiers will be pretty happy with the outcome if they can find up these 3 players without any more of their own going down. 30 seconds left. Godsent will need to make a push, and it looks as though towards B is the call. 1 player up towards short trying to help out. There goes the bit of utility coming in hot to that B bomb site. Send the low Disco Doppelin in first. Send him in to gain the info, and there is 1 player playing passive. It's Engine steps up. A quad kill for Engine into the round, and he's about to get the ace. He will find it. Taps towards short, finds Brolin's head. 10 rounds for Space Soldiers, and an ace for Engine.
Engine stepping up to start this CT side. Clutches the pistol, gets an ace on the very next round. And now, Godsent are only going to have pretty much default pistols to play with, apart from Brolan, who's bought the P250. So Engine will be hoping to extend his stat line even further. Looks as though he might be able to, because the push will come in towards B, and Engine is on this site. He spots them out, and that nade does big damage. Molly comes in. Engine gets a double already. There's a third and a fourth. Engine has had an insane CT side so far. I think he's got 11 kills in 3 rounds.
That is incredible from Engine. That's going to be a lot of confidence as well. Sitting on 21-9 right now. And he's got himself nearly back-to-back aces there. Only 1 kill being stolen away from him in that last round. So 9 kills in 2 rounds and 11 in 3. So that's a good start, I'd say. Freddy B walking out towards middle. Disco Doppler will crack opens and terrace. Freddy B on the pass. So finally, Godsent able to find something into the round already. Just walking out aggressive they go, and they find 2 kills for it. Major has to get aggressive himself, though, as he gets inside of the apartments. Smashes Brolan, and now he gets back. At least 1-man deficit for Space Soldiers. They will try and find this one back as well, and then Godsent have got themselves inside of middle, which is a huge choke point. Engine, he's a menace, walking right through that smoke. Flashbang, at least he wasn't able to find anything quickly, but there we go. Finally strikes, finds Freddy B. But Disco Doppler with the information. Spins round in trades quite quickly. Now leaving Major and Calyx in a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, that mid control is often hotly contested, but generally it does favor the terrorists due to those nades. Ooh, Major gets a kill back there. That's the bomb dropped in towards Connector. And you can see Godsent a little bit tentative about getting that bomb back, but with the flashbang, they are able to recover it. And it looks as though the Swedes are ready to reposition over towards B. Will Disco be safe? No, he won't. That's the bomb dropped in towards short. And Twist, sure, he's aggressive on the B site, but he needs to get the bomb. And oh, Major flicks down to his face and rips it clean off. Space Soldiers looking on point to start their CT side. 12-7 up now. And Godsent are the ones again with poor money.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said coming into the second half. If Space Soldiers are able to start things off well on that CT side and everyone starts to step up a little bit more, that's when Space Soldiers start to run away with it. Their T side was a little bit disjointed, and Godsent were able to sort of take a few rounds off them that they probably shouldn't have. So Space Soldiers now recuperating themselves on the CT side, have got themselves 4 rounds away from victory at this point. And Godsent, they don't have too much to work with into this round, but we've seen stranger things, Hawk. We've seen Godsent win with barely anything, with their backs against the wall and multiple opponent advantages for Space Soldiers, but walking out onto the side, it's Calyx stepping up. Triple kill for him. Shuts down Brawl and Twist and Freddy B. Finally falls to Disco. But now Zenterra's up on top of the stairs. That is so clean. The way the patience and the sort of preciseness of that M4 kill was quite a masterful sort of play there, but Hampus is still alive inside of the connector. Gets 1, but goes down to Major as the trade's quick. 13-7, 3 rounds away from victory here, Space Soldiers. And Godsent, they will get a bye through now.
Yeah, when the Space Soldiers players show up, they are such a scary team and such a fun team to watch. We've seen so many individual plays come through from so many different players. It's been incredible to see the Turks' performance so far, and again, this is on Godsent's map pick, so really well done to get to this position. Already though, there we go. Brolan gets the initial entry in this gun round. Maybe Godsent can finally put a round on the board on their T side. They've lost the first 5 on their T side, but here's the chance to get at least 1 round on the board and start to try and build up some sort of score, as Major does get that kill from behind. A pretty easy frag to find there as Brolan was boosted up. So just a 1-for-1 trade. Godsent, though, with that mid control, might try and split towards a site here.
Godsent did start off that first gun round with an advantage as well, but it was pulled back by Space Soldiers. Again, it's found here. West able to walk out up towards the bottom of connector, finds Paz on the bomb site, takes him down, and that will be 3 versus 4 man advantage for the Godsent side, but Calyx is in a very good position right now. If they don't check him, or at least he has the help from Major, this could be huge. Major kill comes in, takes down Twist towards the connector. Calyx now waiting for these players inside of the ramp to come his way. He has a very good inkling there are players in there, but it doesn't matter when Hampus comes up. As soon as Major stops watching that angle, Calyx gets caught out. Ploy is made, and now it is going to be Godsent taking that A site with a man advantage.
Here we go. Engine and Major between them need 3 kills for the retake, and Hampus going aggressive is going to get the kill through. And Major now with the AWP is going to think about the save, but Hampus could be here to cut this one off. Major's certainly not going back towards the site. So the question is, can he get back in towards Kitchen? And Hampus now goes for the peek. Ooh, the shot connects, but doesn't get the kill there. It must have gone slightly through the wall. Hampus, though, is forced back by the incendiary, so Major will get to safety a little bit more, and ooh, just avoids the shots from Freddy B. In the meantime, though, Disco Dotland, ooh, the timing is off. He doesn't get the angle from the other side. He goes aggressive. Major gets the kill. Can he hold on to this one? Peeking in and out. This is so awkward, but Major does get to save the AWP, and that will help Space Soldiers by into this 22nd round.
This is where Godsent will definitely try to get back into this game. This is their opportunity to really do so. Space Soldiers, again, after winning those rounds, everything on that CT side's expensive, so not exactly a massive buy here. And one player isn't even able to buy a rifle, and that's Zantera. Is a player you really want to be getting on that rifle, and already Brolin finding the opening kill. Bit of aggression again from Godsent. That makes things a little bit more difficult. And it's on to Engine as well. He's a player that's been the most pivotal, I would say, for Space Soldiers right now, especially on that CT side. He really woke up there and he's just going ham on all of the Godsent players. So him going down early on into a round doesn't spell good news, but of course they can still recuperate. They need to find the kills on the Godsent here, but the saving grace for Space Soldiers is the Godsent don't have too much utility. They have no smokes to work with, so they have to go into a bomb site dry, which makes it a little bit easier to perhaps pick off multiple opponents.
Roland is in towards stairs, though, so maybe even without the smokes, he can open things up. In the meantime, Xantares was fighting over towards mid, but it looks as though the A site is where the fights are going to come through. There's Disco already getting the first. Roland does pounce from Connector, getting in towards those stairs, and now Paz in towards CT, has the AWP, but oh yeah, Twist is just posted on that position. Makes it look easy. It's almost like he knew where the player was there because there weren't too many spots left to really worry about. And that means that Major, again, is just trying to save on the B site. Okay. Hampus just puts one bullet into his head, makes it look easy as that. And Godsent, again, proving they're not going out without a fight here.
Yeah, Godsent have been coming back beneath our eyes here. They've got themselves 9 rounds on the board, and Space Soldiers, that gap starting to look a little less indestructible. They will be back under the USPs of all. It will be Calyx with one flashbang. Hampus looking to get those eco frags storming right outside of middle, and that's something Godsent have been quite good at doing, actually taking mid control so well. That time Brolin shows us a nice bit of skill. He takes Paz and Engine down. That nearly finds the 3rd kill. Although Xantera's up on top of the stairs, taking a bit of a duel. Freddy B now isn't really worth overcommitting towards 2 USPs, but still somehow survives on 1 HP. Calyx does go down. And this is where Godsent are going to be looking at their 10th round. Double figures finally hawking. This is starting to look a little bit more closer second half.
Major on 1 HP. In the meantime, I mean, Godsent have a fair few players very low on health. 4 HP on Brolan, 1 HP on Freddy B, 10 HP on Hampus. So there's still a chance for Major to get a kill or two, but that is taken away. Hampus spots him out, and it will be Godsent up to double digits. So here comes the buy for Space Soldiers. We are going to see rifles across the board, except for Calyx, who drops an AWP over into the hands of Paz. He's been struggling so far in this game. Generally, he's a pretty consistently good performer for Space Soldiers, but in the last few months, he's struggled a little bit more, I think, than usual, just because I generally expect him to be one of their better players. And he's also struggling a bit in this game, so if he could step up now with the AWP in his hands, that would be huge for Space Soldiers, but we're going to have to wait for this tactical pause from Godsent before getting into the action.
Yeah, this is where you want to call that tactical pause as well, and really just try and figure out what you want to do, make it a plan that everyone's on the same page. Do we go with a bit of a set piece to try and break the economy of Space Soldiers here, get it down, keep it low? Or do we try and just play our default that's been working out for us and head out mid aggressively? Because right now, Space Soldiers, they've had a good few rounds to sort of see how Godsent have been winning these rounds and try and fix something. So Godsent might try to change it up a little bit, or they expect Space Soldiers to change it up a little bit and we just keep doing what's working. Although Paz does really need to step up for Space Soldiers. I've thrown him over the AWP as well, so let's see if that does allow him to step up a little bit more. A bit of a change in the field of the CT side. It was previously Major wheeling, I believe. And there goes Calyx. Lines up 2. Freddy B and Disco Doplin will find 2 back, but it's Paz to make the difference. The man we just highlighted, an Engine quickly and on the rotate, and it's job done for Space Soldiers. That was pretty easy for them.
They made it look easy, certainly, and it was Godsent who took that tactical timeout, so maybe just a break in play helped Space Soldiers more. Either way, Godsent still have the bye back into this round. So into round 25, this is a pretty key round for both teams. Godsent really could do with this round win, and if they find it, they probably force Space Soldiers back to a weaker bye. So if they win this round, this could become very close, but already Xantares opens things up. He's gone aggressive in towards mid. Bush is going to come back through underpass, which could be an issue, but you can already see Space Soldiers have fallen back, so they claim the man advantage. And again, Space Soldiers looking in good shape. After getting the opening kill, they can just afford to play passively. The boost does come in towards window, though, so let's see if Brolan can make the difference. Oh, he pulls the trigger, he gives away his spot, but he does get the kill back. They are aware of his position, though, and Paz flicks back around to land that shot. It looks as though Godsent are, again, focused on A.
Godsent have been going towards the A site a lot of the time. Space Soldiers have been good at sort of shutting them down towards that side of the map. We've seen it in the last round. Godsent this time have put players inside of connector. That's Freddy B coming up towards the top. Over he goes the stairs. Pass, close shot. There we go. It's like a shotgun in the hands of that man. Another kill comes in. He stepped up. That op seems to be paying dividends to him. And not only Twist and Disco Dopplet, Calyx makes quick work of both of them. Map and match point here for Space Soldiers here on Mirage.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say, shout out to all you guys for tuning in. 20k viewers. I think this is the highest we've had so far throughout this tournament. And it's been a really entertaining matchup. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you've been enjoying it. And we'll get straight back into the action again. Godsent are going to be on their last legs. They need 5 in a row here on their own map pick. They're going to get that mid-presence early on with a fair few of their nades being deployed. They have 3 smokes left in their back pocket alongside 2 flashbangs, but they've used a lot of their nades there to gain mid control. So let's see what else they have left, because it could be a bit difficult now to push towards the site.
Soldiers have to just hold on for another minute on the clock to try and get themselves that 16th round, but here goes an aggressive push with a flashbang. Calyx spots that it's clear towards ramp, perhaps has an inkling that Disco Dopplin's lurking up in the rafters there. Disco Dopplin is aware of it, drops down, and it's Calyx to win the duel. Man advantage given on over to the Turkish side. Trying to keep that intact as well, going into the next, but it's Hampus and Twist somehow answer back. Hampus with another one. It's huge from Hampus. What a play from him. That last one tap was absolutely filthy. And iEngine, somehow his team have just disappeared and he's left on his own. Up inside of the B apartments, has 4 players to find. I don't think that's going to be a possibility, so he's going to save that AK into the next round, but that's a huge round for Godsent to win.
There we go. Hampus making the difference. 3 frags for him. Again, one of the sort of young guns, I guess you could say, recently added to the Godsent lineup. And he has been helping out pretty considerably in terms of fragging, alongside Brolan, of course, who is much, much younger. But, you know, Hampus still counts as a young lad compared to the rest of the team. Either way, just going to be Engine attempting to save. Oh, that spam comes close. It does hit him, so they know where he is. And Hampus closes it out with a quad kill on the round. And now this could get dicey because Space Soldiers are not going to be able to fully invest into this round. This could really go the distance now. It's going to be at least 1 save here for Space Soldiers, with Major at least investing some. And it looks as though, unless Godsent lose to this bye, I mean, if they lose here, that would just be so devastating. But it looks like we are going to get a close game.
Yeah, it is shaping up to be a very close game, a good one indeed, because Space Soldiers on paper should not even have a chance to win this round, but again, it's Counter-Strike. A lot of weird rounds have been won, but Xantares getting dropped down to 10 HP. Disco Dopplin goes down to Calyx, but at least he has Hampus there, who's stepped up massively at the last round and has got himself a bit of blood in the round already. Walking through, Brolin and Freddy B chime together and find themselves 3 kills as Brolin storming through the smoke finds the last, and it will be 15-12. And Space Soldiers 1 round away, still from victory, and they're going to invest in this one. They're not going to have too much utility. I'd say a couple of flashbangs, maybe 1 or 2 smokes in the mix there, but it is over on that Godsent side where you have the full buy. So this is going to be a competitive round, and this really makes or breaks Space Soldiers' mentality at this point. Godsent have a huge chance to really come back into this game. Space Soldiers need to win this one if they want to take it here and now.
Here we go. A full investment from Space Soldiers, and Major picks up the AWP rather than Paz because he wants to lock down B apartments. He's going to go aggressive off the back of that incendiary he deployed and look to lock down this smoke. Hampus is already pushed up though, so that could be important. If a flash was well placed, Major would be very, very exposed and it would be quite an easy kill. But Major has now slightly repositioned, so he's a little bit safer. You can feel the tension start to build. I'm getting a bit nervous, and I'm not even in the game. So imagine what the players are feeling. Remember,
just all those people in the chat.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's an IEM Sydney qualifier. I mean this is a big qualifier for both of these teams. So a lot on the line, and Godsent, they haven't gone B too often. There's only Major here right now, but he has got the AWP in his hands.
Oh, what a quick shot from Major. Able to take that one fall back, but there goes Brolin trying to get his way out. But Space Soldiers, they're holding the fort right now. Major able to open things up, and what a play. And Towers is in here as well to help out. It's only Disco Doppler, he's up towards short. He gets caught out by Calix, and there we go, 16-12. An unbelievable game to start.